Hey guys, it's Cassie from And Other Lovelies, and today I wanted to share with you a little bit of the album prep that I'm doing for my Week in Chicago album. I picked up this 6x8 album, Project Life Becky Higgins, from Michaels, and it's this neon green color, which normally I never would go towards, but I was really drawn to just the brightness of it and decided to challenge myself to build out a kit with my bright colored items and just see what I can do. So what I've done so far is, since I've gotten back from the trip, I've printed out some photos but not all, and I'm just slowly beginning to drop them in to give them some semblance of where they might be. So for example, I know that I want a skyline picture on my cover. I've got my Delta Pass, some of the skyscraper photos from the first days in Chicago, and plan on working those into a cover for a few things. And then what I decided to do was take some of these 3x3 cards from A Beautiful Mess and use them as day markers. So I'm going to start with day 0 because that'll be my travel day. And I just took an 8.5 by 11 page protector, so just the cheapie from Office Max or Office Depot, cut it down so it's probably 6 by 3, and then just fused along the side. And once I get my journaling and other pictures added in here, then I'll fuse the bottom so that nothing falls out. But I just started taking all my 4x6 photos and popping them in, and I still have some other photos coming from Snapfish that are some odd sizes, so once I get all of those in, I'll go back through and figure out where everything really goes. But one of my first steps was taking out all the ephemera that I collected throughout the trip and tried to cut it down so it would fit within the album. And then once I get it all in here and see where the photos lay, then I'll decide what needs to be backed with pattern paper, what I can adhere a photo to the back, where I need to add journaling and things like that. But for example, this is part of the visitor guide from the Art Institute of Chicago. I adhered the ticket right to the bottom and then adhered the back of the brochure there as well. I'm probably going to go through and add in some little tabs to make this easier and so that it doesn't get grimy, since I'm not going to put a page protector around it. But just added that in, added a beer bottle label here. I'm probably going to adhere some pattern paper to the back. And here's another one of those tab dividers. So since these cards from A Beautiful Mess came double-sided and I wanted to use both sides, I decided to use these dividers kind of as the halfway point separating day 1 from day 2. So this will be really a day 1 roundup or day 1 summary, and then day 2 summary will be right there on the back, getting ready to lead into the next section. So it's not quite the way I'd like it to be, you know, with a divider before each section, but I think this will work and accomplish the goal. So the next day I have some other 4x6 photos. I have a postcard I want to include, and just started to throw in some page protectors as placeholders to really get me started on the album. Again, I pulled out some ephemera bits, just hole punched those right through. I definitely will adhere these. As you can see, they're really thin, so I'll put some cardstock behind so they don't get too bent up. Originally, my plan was to put all of this content into a small 4x4 album, but as you can see, with just the oversized quality on some things like postcards like this, I really felt like a 6x8 album would make the most sense. So I'm really looking forward to adding items in like this to make just some makeshift dividers throughout the page. So we've got things like a Chicago hot dog and an art institute that we visited. So planning on popping those in and then using the page protectors to hold my 3x4 and 2x2 cards. So again, another divider, a pamphlet from the Playbill, and then here I started putting in some business cards that I found. I'm not quite sure how I'm going to use those all together yet, but plan to include them. So I dropped them in the pages for the days that we did those things. Same thing here, I got this really cool sticker from one of the bars that we visited. Planning on using that somehow, not quite sure how yet, but it goes on this day, so I decided to pop it in the album there for now. And again, we've got some more business cards here. Stan's Donuts, a furniture place, my venture card, and make my way through to day 5 and day 6, which is my final day. And again, just using this as placeholders for now. So I'm really looking forward to putting this together once the rest of my photos come in. And kind of to get me by in the meantime, I pulled out a bunch of my bright colored embellishments. For those of you guys that subscribe to A Beautiful Mess, you'll recognize a lot of this, but try to pull colors that would go with the cover of this album. And again, just really challenge myself to use some of those brights. I usually am drawn to more the pastels, the teals, gold, more vintage feel, and so I'm really excited to try to use up some of these more graphic cards that came from Beautiful Mess. You know, here's one from Heidi Swapp, and so there's quite a mix here, but I'm looking forward to trying those out. And then again, just went through my stash to pull out things that were bright and colorful. Pulled some stamps because I think that might as well. We were celebrating our birthdays over there, so I pulled out some Celebrate icons, some random puppy stickers, Days of the Week stickers, and some really cool We Are Memory Keepers. This is some acetate transparency. I'm excited to try that. And then I picked up some of these 1-inch tabs from Office Depot. I'm going to try those on my items that are not in page protectors. But again, just pulled out a lot of those graphic prints and plan to pull this all together into this one week in Chicago album, and I will share that with you as I get days done. I'm really looking forward to this project and am excited to share it with you. Thanks so much. Hope you guys have a great day. Bye.